Is it on? Is it on? Good evening, everybody. I'm Gloria McGlumfer, and I'll be clerking tonight's annual general meeting of the Puppet Parish Council. The main item on tonight's agenda is the consideration of nominations for the Scott Doonican's Big NEET Lockdown Heroes Award. I think it is of paramount importance, Gloria McGlumfer, that we place standards as a point of order, as that is of utmost importance in these times. Well, I'm afraid, Mr. Fairbanks, that our standards were well established long before you came to join the Puppet Parish Council. That way we keep everything tip-top and tickety-boo. And if you refer to the Puppet Parish Council Code of Conduct, you will find we have things running fairly tip-top and tickety-boo here. But I demand for a raising of standards, Gloria McGlumfer. Sadly, Mr. Fairbanks, it isn't a point of order on tonight's agenda. We have real heroic deeds to consider. You have no authority, Gloria McGlumfer. No authority at all. Oh, Auntie Gloria, switch Fairbanks off. It's gone. Bye.
See ya. Won't want to be ya.
Well, never mind Fairbanks. You know, I'm sure he'll calm down and he'll be okay later. But we've got standards as well, and we've got a meeting to hold.
Have we got a chair?
Well, if a meeting needs a chair, I'll sort it. Bear with. It's a miracle! Oh, I'm the chair. I don't need that, you wee dafty. Well, now then, let's reconvene this meeting. We're going to consider all of the nominations, and in order to maintain a high standard of decorum, I will invite each one of you to individually bring forward your nominations for our Lockdown Hero Award. Many a mickle makes a muckle. I'll start with these. Let's start with Max Rokotansky. He wants to nominate Ian Clark, founder of Lincolnshire Community Assistive Team, and he's a volunteer there and does cracking work. Linda Knight would like to nominate Julie Roberts and Doug Gall. They're part of Hat and Helpers, and they've got involved in the COVID-19 vaccination centre work as well. Wendy Turner wants to nominate the Three Daft Monkeys because they've kept going all through lockdown, a bit like our Scott Doonican. Our next nomination is from Dave Holgate. He wants to nominate Janet's dad, Doug, as he will always be her hero. Frankie Phillips wants to nominate Neil Phillips because he's a key worker in logistics. He's a homeschooler to 4 girls and has done online music lessons. He's done loads, bless him. And finally, in my batch of nominations is David Markwell. He wants to nominate the staff at Ipswich Hospital where he works, and they've done a sterling job. And now we'll return for some more Lockdown Hero nominations from the members of the Puppet Parish Council. Well, I can see him there over at the Pint and Puppet. Morris, who are your nominations?
Oh, good evening, it's Morris here. I'm the landlord of the Pint and Puppet, don't you know? But it's not all about that now. The nominations I've got, well, the first one's from Matt Caldwell. He wants to nominate Ali Caldwell. She's a teacher and she's his better half. Joe Wilson wants to nominate Andy Wilson. He's been poorly, he's had cancer treatment, chemo, and he's also done some homeschooling. Look at the brains on him. What a guy. Wendy Turner wants to nominate Tracy Edwards for helping the homeless and the vulnerable people throughout all this. Wendy Cooper wants to nominate her husband Gary. Also, Matt and Ali and the Dooney family, all for being supportive. And finally, Simon Nichols wants to nominate all the people who've successfully followed the rules and not been cockwombles. How do you like them apples?
Thank you very much, Morris, over at the Pint and Puppet. I'll be over there later for a wee dram. Is there anything that you'd like to add to that, Gervase? Hello. Well, thank you for that enlightening nomination. I'm not sure what we'll do with it, but thank you anyway. Bye. And now we'll return for some more Lockdown Hero nominations from the members of the Puppet Parish Council. Well, it's over to Winona Wordsmith for more wordy answers and nominations. Well, hello there. I'm Winona Wordsmith, and have I got some nominations for you? The first nomination's from Simon Porter. He'd like to nominate Dave Harrison for his lovely quizzes. Lots of wonderful words on them. Amanda and Scott would like to nominate him too. He's done a quiz every week. He's done 52 weeks as well. Andrea Wright would like to nominate her delivery drivers, her post lady, and David Malone. He's been singing every week. Claire Gibson would like to nominate the band Hayes and Chris Treebeard for doing their weekly shows. And finally, Andy Douglas would like to nominate his better half, Kerry, and all her colleagues at NL&G Community Dental Services. They've also done COVID testing for NHS staff, for emergency workers and the elderly. Thank you, Winona, and you kept it very clean there. I can only imagine what Ringo's going to say, but we need to go to him for his nominations. I've got some nominations. I can't even say that I'm unaccustomed to public speaking because it'll go wrong. Cider. My first nomination is for John Shanks. He wants to nominate the Dooney family. Amanda Ong. She wants to nominate Andy, who worked throughout and supported her. PJ Bryant. He wants to nominate Toya and Robert Fripp. Glenn Stewart wants to nominate Gaz Brookfield for his lockdown shows. Cider Pirates. My last nomination's from Lynn Chitty. She wants to nominate Andrea Wright because she's done lots of vegan cookery shows online. Yum, yum. Well, thank you, Ringo. It's good to see that your accent's strapped on and your nominations were clear. And now we'll return for some more lockdown hero nominations from the members of the Puppet Parish Council. Well, we'll go to my wee nephew, Gordon McGlumfer. I'm not Gordon, I'm a crochet kid, for goodness sake. Auntie Gloria, I'm a hero because I'm the crochet kid. It's a miracle! Look at my aerodynamic helm. Oh, it's come off. Oh, no. Well, never mind. I'm going to give you some nominations. We've got Paula Harper Monday. She wants to mention Lynn Hume for being there more than she realised. A lovely friend. That's lovely. We've also got Catherine Hammond. She wants a mention for her Dave Hewitt, because he's her lockdown hero, and I think they've both enjoyed all the big NEETs in together, and they've become great friends. David Winnett, I think he snuck extra mentions in there, but it's Anna and Freddie who wants a shout out for them. They want to shout out for Auntie Sarah, who's an infection control matron, and I don't know what that is, but it sounds important. He also wants a mention for Emma and David, because they want to mention Anna and Freddie for being good kids. Well, I'm a wee boy, I'm very good as well. I think I need a mention. I've got another nomination, that's Louise Barter. She wants to nominate Jim because he's her hero. She's in hospital at the minute, so we're going to wish her well as well. The last nomination that I've got is for Shaz Denton because she keeps Banbury Museum viable, and also she looks after her mum and Jez, and it's Jez Denton that wanted to mention her. Well, thank you very much, Gordon, or I suppose I can call you the crochet kid just this once. And you've been very handy there. Thank you very much. We're going to hear now from the newest member of the Puppet Parish Council. That's not easy to say. It's my father. It is Grandpa McGlumfer. It's not my grandpa. It's Grandpa McGlumfer here. My first nomination is from Anne-Marie Endicott. She wants to nominate her husband Paul for being there through these extremely tough times. Very important. Jenny Fuller wants to nominate the volunteers and workers and Saturday NEET crew. Matthew Jarvis wants to nominate Ellen Malin for being her rock Cy Carter wants to nominate all the people that have kept him going with their music shows. The last nomination that I've got here is from Lynn Baldwin. She wants to nominate Olwyn and Brian Baker and also Stuart Robbins, and they've all worked throughout the pandemic and they've supported people and her. Well, thank you, Grandpa McGlumfer, Dad. And now we'll return for the last of our lockdown hero nominations from the members of the Puppet Parish Council. We'd better ask Percy, the puppet wrangler himself, for his nominations. It's over to you, Percy. Well, I've got a few nominations as well. We've got Lynn Hume. She wants to nominate Paul Harper Mundy for friendly chat and she has a sense of fun. Can't go wrong with that. Mark Brennan wants to nominate Lynn Hume for their Safe Space Cafe Facebook group. There's lots of activities and it lifts everyone's spirits. That's great. Tony Allen wants to nominate his partner, Louise Giles. She's worked throughout all of this and he's right proud of her. She's kept calm and she's carried on. What a trooper. Katie Ireland wants to nominate Flora, Moira and Jack and Connor because she couldn't have got through all this COVID stuff without them. Cracking. And finally, Sophie Watson, well, she wants to nominate a Bubble of Sue Manley and Mim McMahon. And also Andrea Wright and Lynn Hume and Paula Harper Mundy and Nikki Coyne. They've all kept a trucking. Well, thank you, Percy. I'm sure you can add them onto your list.
Hey, what have I missed?
Well, we'd like to go over to Barnsley Bob Ross for his nominations, please.
Hey up, Barnsley Bob Ross here. Now, I've got to be pretty quick. I've not got long because I've got to go and paint Banksy's toilet this afternoon. Anyway, I've got a bunch of them. There's Julie Roberts. She wanted to nominate Linda Knight for her friendship, community support and homeschooling. And Susan Smarty for being part of the support group and also helping Daniela, who's a nurse. Margaret Kurt wants to nominate Michael, her better half. And also Weston Park Hospital and Doncaster Royal Infirmary and all her friends and colleagues at Doncaster Clinic, so fair play to them. And Victoria Sadler wants to give a nomination for Fred and Nigel for being there when she's come home from nursing. Sarah Grattan wanted to thank Matt from the Levellers for all his calls and checking up on fans and people that many of which he probably has never met in his life. Fair play to him. And also to Darren Hardwick for helping Sarah and her mum. And then finally, Jenny Parsons wanted to thank Gareth Parsons. They've been together 45 years, they've been through all sorts, and they managed to turn their spare room into a little restaurant during the lockdown. So, well done to them. Anyway, I've got to go now because I've got to smoke a woodbine. See you later. Bye.
Well, thank you very much, Barnsley Bob Ross. Your hair's looking mighty fine. Well, thank you to all the members of the Puppet Parish Council, those that are here and those that are elsewhere at the moment, and I'm sure they'll be back later. And thank you very much for all the nominations that you've given us. You've been absolute troopers. Well, OK. Fellow puppets, I think it's time that we let Mr. Fairbanks back into the meeting. I'm assured that he will be well behaved and he does have an important contribution to make before we end this year's AGM of the Puppet Parish Council. Hello! I say, it's much appreciated, Gloria McGlumfer, much appreciated indeed, as you and I both know somebody, for the benefit of dramatic effect, had to play the pantomime villain. And as I always try to ensure the very highest of standards, I consider it a great honour to have been given this important role. My acting skills are tip-top and tickety-boo, first-rate and second to none. Well, actually, you were rather good, and I'm assured that the viewers were taken in by your performance, but don't milk it. Many a mickle makes a muckle. As we agreed earlier, I'd like you to conclude our AGM with the announcement of our carefully considered winner. Thank you very much, Miss Gloria McGlumfer. It is my great pleasure to announce that after hearing all the nominations, the decision of this council is as follows. Everybody who was nominated is indeed considered to be a hero, and everybody who has supported the Big NEET-In, as well as the Puppet Parish Council, is also considered a hero in our eyes. Thank you so much for all your support. What, pip, pip, it's tip-top and tickety-boo all round.